Now, first up today, a bit of a disclaimer. This is not a how-to video. I've had an issue with my Renogy 100 amp lithium battery. This is the workaround that I've found to get around the issue. I'm not telling you to go and replicate what I've done. You need to go away based on anything you see here and make your own informed decision based on outside influences. I'm not an expert. I'm not telling you that I'm an expert. If you blow yourself up or catch fire, that's your call. So with that, let's get on with this week's show. Hey guys, I'm Daryl and welcome to the channel. Now this week I've had the devil's own issue with my Renogy 100 amp LiFePO4 lithium battery. I stupidly left it in the camper with the fridge going and promptly forgot about it. We had weeks and weeks and weeks of mid-winter, early days, lots of rain, hardly any solar panel activity. With the fridge going, it's drained all of the voltage out of the battery. The BMS has cut in, the battery management system. It's done exactly what it needs to do. It's shut it down at a certain point and said, I'm protecting the cells and the battery. We ain't working anymore. As such, you need to awaken the BMS, and the BMS needs to see a certain voltage on the cell side of the BMS for it to work, and the BMS is a switch. Generally, with this type of thing, because it's a lithium battery, a good lithium charger will go through that process. However, with the Renogys, there's no documentation anywhere with regards to how to kickstart the dead BMS from outside of the battery. I've spent hours and hours searching the net for answers. Renogy have nothing. On their Renogy's forums, there's a few people asking the same question as what the issue that I have, and there is no answer. There's a few guys giving, I've connected two batteries together and just left them for a while and that started. There's another guy saying, I've used a switchable power unit and put it down low to X amps and X voltage, and that's kick-started the BMS. There's a whole range of different people stating that this is what you could do, but no one's saying, well, this is what's fixed it. Now, I've tried all of the options that I could find online. I also have a Red Arc AC battery charger. This works on all types of batteries. It senses what battery it is and puts in the right profile for that battery. You can also run this as a power supply at 13.7 volts, or we'll go to 14.7 volt steady current. I have tried that to kickstart this to no avail. I've tried connecting two different batteries together. I've tried connecting this to the car and starting the car and running it. I've tried a whole heap of different things. And in the end, it got to the point where it was like, this thing is just dead. I must have killed the cells. I need to buy another one, which I have placed an order for another one of these batteries. I think they're a really good battery. They work really well. This is on me. This isn't the battery. I have left this stupidly in the camper running the fridge and not even checked it. Now I have a pigtail here that's connected to the battery 24/7. All I have to do is take the little cap off, connect that to the Red Arc battery charger, and turn it on. The beauty with the Red Arc battery charger is that this will charge this up, then stop charging, and then this will go to sleep for 7 days and then wake up and go, let's have a look at the battery again, and go through the process. If it needs a charge, it will charge it up. Now, Renogy say that keeping a battery topped up like this isn't a bad thing. It's in their documentation, and I've had no issue with it. As I said, the only issue I've ever had with these batteries, and this is a warranty replacement, was that the original battery that I bought, the ports blew out, or I thought they'd blown out. And we'll talk about this later. We went through the diagnostic process. They sent me out a replacement battery, and this is the battery, and they perform faultlessly. I've got no problems with regard to them. And if you look at Will Prowse's channel, and I'll link to it down below, he does a teardown on one of these and states that it is quite a good battery for the money, and they're not overly expensive, so it's not a bad thing. Now, after trying everything to kickstart this BMS into life, or get some charge into the battery, and failing, ordering a new battery, I just figured I might tear the top out of this and have a look at what's inside, and if the cells are dead, is it just that I can't awaken the BMS? So let's just open it up and we'll have a look. Now these open up with just an Allen key, and if you want to see a teardown, as I said, go and have a look at Will Prowse's page. He tears down a whole heap of batteries, and if you're into 12 volt, it's a fairly awesome channel to look at. Now when you first open these things, you'll see the BMS in here. This cable at the front goes to the data ports, where you can connect up your Bluetooth dongles and everything like that. You can just undo that off the board with this clip. Now at the side here you can see two connections. They're a slip-off connection and they're for the negs on the BMS. So you can just undo those. I've left the positives connected and then just swing over the top of the battery. Now with this open and with the negative connections from the battery cells off the BMS, this BMS basically acts as a switch, and it consistently works out overheating, overcharging, undercharging, and will disconnect the negative terminals from the cells to prevent any damage to the cells. The drama is, as I've said, is kickstarting this back, and the easiest way to do that is to get some more current into the cells. What I figured I'd do, after taking meter readings of all the posts on the negatives and working out that these were going onto a negative bus bar, I connected up my red arc battery charger as a power supply, producing 13.6 volts to the positive on the top of the battery cover, and connected the negative directly to one post on these wires. Because these are on a bus bar, and working that out with the meter, I could safely just connect to one post and it was fine. So I quickly took charge and rose quite quickly from 2.8 to 5 volts. I'd stop charging every so often and check heat and the like, check the battery cells with my meter to see how they were going, and as it got up to about 9 volts very quickly and then slowed down, I took the voltage to 12.1 and thought that's enough, I'm up to my 12 volts. Now after I've got it to 12.1 volts, I then put my connectors back into the BMS, my negative connectors. I then put the negative connectors that go to the negative terminal on the battery top into the other side of the BMS. And I connect up the data port to the circuit board. Now, once all this was back together, I've connected up the BT2 to the up port, the up data port, so I could see if the Bluetooth worked. It immediately came to life. It looked as though it would work. I then connected up the Renogy AC battery charger, and I just put it in the normal charge you would use so that it could detect what battery it was and choose what profile. In this case, it would have chosen a lithium profile to charge it. What I found was there was hardly anything in the battery, which was fine because I only just did take it up to the 12 volts. And this charges at a maximum of 10 amps. It was probably sitting on about 7, 8 most of the time, and it has taken 10 or 11 hours to fully charge this battery. The battery's holding charge, nothing seems to be damaged. I seem to have dodged a bullet, but I do have another brand new battery coming now. Yeah, we'll have plenty of battery power. Now, whilst I was doing this, I pulled out my old Renogy battery with the failed data port, and I thought, now, is it the data port, the circuit board, because this is actually charging up and working absolutely perfectly, battery that was replaced under warranty. The only downside on this is that I can't get any data out of the data ports. I thought, let's take the top off this and connect this top data ports to this one, and it turned out that it is the actual RS45 female port that is a problem in this. It isn't the circuit board at all. So it appears as though the issues that I've had aren't battery or circuit board related. It's been a dud connection, RS45 connection. So that was interesting. The only thing I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just replace the RS45 female port, but it does look as though there's a little printed circuit board underneath that. So yeah, we'll just live with this one the way it is. However, I've got around the issue of waking up this BMS. As I said, probably not the right way of doing it. However, it has worked for me. I certainly wouldn't be charging up directly to the cells and just leaving it and walking away. I stood here and monitored it the whole time, and it probably took a maximum of 10 minutes. I just figured if this was indeed stuffed, it really doesn't matter if I stuffed around with it anyway, and if I blow myself up or catch fire, well, so be it. That's my call. But I don't want you to take my lead. I was tossing up whether or not to do this video, and I thought at least there's something out there that shows that you can wake up these BMSs. Now, I was really excited when this worked, and it was like, woohoo, I've actually sorted out an issue that I couldn't find an answer for, either off Renogy or any of the discussion forums. And there seemed to be a whole heap of people out there looking for an answer to this problem. Again, and I'm going to keep reiterating it, I'm not saying to go and do it. I'm not saying this is the right way of doing it. And maybe if you bought the Renogy battery charger, that would just do it without all this stuffing around. However, I've saved, for me, what is quite an expensive battery. I'm just really chuffed. And working out with the other battery that it's actually not the circuit board. So these batteries are, they're quite good. I think I've just been unlucky with this one, that, you know, the RS45 connector's blown out. So yeah, really chuffed, because I want to use these batteries in the next episode, but we'll talk about that then. That's it for today, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.